What's going on, Ox fans? This is Keith Thurman Boxing. Friend request, subscribe. I know it's been quite some time since I created a boxing video, and a lot of people have been writing me saying, hey, Kenny, when's the next time you're going to create a video? It's been quite some time, which I completely apologize to those subscribers out there. I've just been caught up in life and being really, really busy, you know, and taking care of my priorities and stuff like that. But things are settling down with ease. So I know one of my New Year's resolutions was go ahead and create more videos and stuff like that. That was a promise that I made myself, a promise that I made to this channel, and I'm going to continue to dedicate myself on that. So I know there's been some major boxing events that we've missed. There's been some nice fights that I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick recap and just do a series of videos just to catch up. I know and Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Mayweather finally took a photo of that contract. Both signatures, both Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather showed the signature of the contract, so it is finalized, set in stone for May 2nd. That's actually huge. I've been waiting a long time, not just myself, the whole entire ASPN boxing family, the whole entire boxing community. Absolutely everybody's been waiting for this fight, but I'm not going to cover that topic right now in this video. One of the topics I am going to cover is some big fights, that are coming up that I'm very, very excited about. You have Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero versus Adrien, Broner, and Molina Jr. in the same card. When's that fight going to take place? It's going to take place in March 7th. That's going to be good fights. That's going to be some good fights, and especially the 147 welterweight division right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of stuff as far as like who's Manny Pacquiao going to fight, who's Kell Brook going to fight, who's Amir Khan going to fight, who's Mayweather going to fight. Timothy Bradley just lost. Or actually Timothy Bradley just won, but he lost to Manny Pacquiao. There's just so much competition in the 147 division, and there's a lot of young talent out there that we're just waiting for the matchmakers to go ahead and finalize the decisions. But big fights, you know, Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero, that's a great fight. I definitely want to see it. You know, Keith Thurman has the interim WBA welterweight title. He's a rising star. Who's Robert Gross to Guerrero? He's a former two-time two-division world champion. And the big thing about this is just there's so much change as far as generation-wise, you know. And with the older generation starting to get out, you know, there's only a certain handful of fights for Mayweather, a certain handful of fights for Manny Pacquiao. New generations coming in, and boxing's changing as a whole. Boxing started dying out, you know, thanks to Mayweather, thanks to Manny Pacquiao was able to revive boxing as a whole. And just think, you know, just boxing as a whole starting to. As these guys go out, you have the Don Kings, you have the Bob Arums. In a matter of years, these guys are going to pass. They're going to have to pass the torch to someone. You know, you have your Al Haymons, you got the Oscar De La Hoya and stuff like that. The new generation of boxing, because this is completely changing as a whole. Why am I saying that? It's just to say this, because Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero, and the same card with Adrien, Broner, and Molina Jr. on March 7th, it's going to be actually the first main event on Al Haymon's NBC boxing series at the MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is going to be a major event. Al Haymon's teaming up with NBC, bringing boxing back to NBC, and this is going to be a great, great fight. Besides the Guerrero, I'm definitely interested when I'm going to create another video on the Adrien problem Broner versus Molina fight. But let's go ahead and talk about Thurman. A lot of people, you know, doubt Thurman. They doubt Thurman. They always question, you know, Thurman a hype job or he's the real deal. Thurman to me is the real deal. You know, his last fight, which I'll touch bases on that, but let's go ahead and talk about Thurman. Let's talk about Guerrero. Thurman's 24-0 with 21 KOs. His KOs power is definitely there. Guerrero is a little bit more veteran right there, more of a veteran fighter. He's been in the rings, which I'll touch base on that. He's 32-2, one draw, 18 KOs. So his knockout power is there as well. Thurman knows coming into this fight, he knows that Guerrero's a little bit more experienced. Guerrero has a better resume as far as the opposition stepping in the ring. You know, he's fought the best as far as he's fought Mayweather Jr. So coming in, he knows that Guerrero has the experience, and Guerrero itself, he knows that he believes that the experience that he's faced against elite opposition will give him the edge on this fight. How do I feel about that? You know, I definitely. Respect Robert Guerrero. He's always never been a fighter. He's one of a few fighters that's willing to fight absolutely anybody. He'll step in the ring any day with anyone. And he's ready to put on a show. He's ready to fight. He comes in as a warrior and stuff like that. And I definitely appreciate that. And it's always exciting to watch him fight. But who's Robert Guerrero is going to go ahead and fight? He's going to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman. A lot of people don't think he's a real deal. Whatever. I've been watching Keith Thurman since I know he's knocked out a lot of people. I get it. With 21 knockouts, a lot of people are speaking. He is the real deal. He definitely has the knockout power and stuff like that. But as he comes up into the ranking and is fighting better opposition, you're going to see, he's going to fight. He's got to show a little different side of him. He needs to see more of a complete fighter. Is he going to adapt to a changing environment? He's going to adapt to the style of the fight. Is he going to be a little bit more ring leadership? He's going to show smarts and stuff like that. Is he going to be able to just basically change, and not be a one-sided fighter? When he fought Carlos Quintana, he definitely looked good. Came out with a KO. Savek, Diego Chavez, he looked really good against Diego Chavez. Soto Karass, that was one of the major fights that I wanted to go ahead and see, because Soto Karass looked good against Andre Berto. So when he stepped into the ring with Soto Karass, I was just like, damn, and this was 2013, like the end of 2013. Soto Karass looked really good against Andre Berto. Put on a great fight, so it was a good test. And guess what? He TKO'd him in the 9th round, came out victorious on this fight. He fought Julio Diaz. He looked really good on Julio Diaz. And coming into the Bandou fight, a lot of people have never heard of Bandou or whatever, but Bandou was undefeated at the time. Bandou was definitely undefeated at the time, and they fought last December. A lot of people were going for a knockout. And one of the things that I said in this fight, I was just like, look, I think he needs to show a better side of him. He needs to come out boxing, and that's it. He showed a style of himself that a lot of people were upset by his performance against Bandou. But, to me, he showed that he's a little bit more versatile. He's able to box. He's able to go to distance. If the knockout comes, and that comes with experience. That takes a lot of patience, and he's willing to be let the knockout comes. And if you fight a veteran fighter like a Mayweather, you fight a veteran fighter like a Marquez, you fight a veteran fighter, I will go ahead and put Timothy Bradley into the mix as well. You can't make mistakes, and you got to let the knockout come. You can't get over anxious and just continue to go for a knockout, because you're going to end up on your back and you're going to lose the fight. But Robert Guerrero feels that he has the advantage on this fight. Who is Robert the Ghost Guerrero? I apologize for some of these people that know the stats and stuff like that. But Robert Guerrero, he's 30. Like I said, he's 32 and 2. He's fought the best. Well, I wouldn't say the best, but he was in the spotlight when he took on the likes of Adrien. He's been able to move up in weight, carry the weight really well. One of the best fights that I've seen him go ahead and fight after he fought Adrien and won the vacant title against Adrien was the Andre Berto fight. The Andre Berto fight was a hell of a fight. That Andre Berto fight was, I think it was like 2013. It was like, 2012, three years ago. Yeah, 2015. So the Andre Berto fight was a hell of a fight. It was a great war. It just showed, it sparked. He was able to take the undefeated Andre Berto and just work him, completely worked him. And I was completely shocked by that. I was completely shocked by that he was able to whoop Andre. Actually, Andre Berto wasn't undefeated at the time. Andre Berto lost to Victor Ortiz. Yeah, he lost to Victor Ortiz, and then Robert Gross Guerrero came in and beat Berto. But that was able to win him a fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr. He was able to come out and fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, I appreciate the fact that he came out and fight and stuff like that, but he definitely showed his experience showed. Floyd Mayweather Jr., that's what he has a tendency of doing, was exposing fighters for what they are. He put on a great performance against Andre Berto, but it clearly showed that Mayweather's definitely no Andre Berto. If you're going to fight Mayweather and fight at that caliber, you got to be able to versatile. You got to be able to mix it up. You got to be able to look at the style and just adapt. After that fight, he took some time off. His last fight in 2014, he took on Yoshihiro, some guy from Japan and stuff like that. That was a good comeback fight for Robert Gross Guerrero. But Guerrero, to me, he just looked sloppy in that fight. A lot of people thought he put on a great performance, but he took some punishment against a no-name fighter. Yoshihiro was slow, didn't have too much power. The guy the guy was a brick wall. He just kept coming. But Robert Gross Guerrero, Guerrero just looked uncomfortable. Guerrero looked like he wasn't really. There was no rings. He wasn't controlling the fight whatsoever. He was fighting Yoshihiro's fight. He was just taking too much damage, too much damage. And if he steps into the ring against Keith Thurman, taking some damage like that, Guerrero, he has heart, he definitely has chin, but Keith Thurman just has too much power, man. Keith Thurman just have too much power, and I think coming into this fight, you're just as good as your last fight. I think Keith Thurman showed a great side of him as far as being a little bit more versatile, fighting Bandu, was able to box, keep the distance, pop the jab. His counter punching was definitely there. He worked the body. His power punches were definitely there, and he was just able to. His defense was definitely there. He was able just to pick him apart, and I think in this fight. Guerrero, he had a lot to say. He had a lot to say about Keith Thurman fighting Bandu, which, he basically said that he felt like Bandu was the slowest guy ever. He didn't have any feet work since Guerrero fought Mayweather Jr. He feels that, Keith Thurman doesn't have anything. And Mayweather has the fastest hands and the fastest, feet in the game. And, he feels that Keith Thurman hasn't fought anybody, and he's going to be one of the toughest fighters that Keith Thurman has fought. But, Soto Karass I would put Soto Karass in the ring with Robert Guerrero, and that'd be a good ass fight. A Bandu versus Robert Guerrero would be a good ass fight. Yoshihiro, it's just that was a slow ass fighter with some slow ass hands, and he was able to put his hands on Robert Guerrero and put some damage on him. But what's my fight predictions coming into this fight? I think Keith Thurman is going to come out victorious on this one. I think Keith Thurman. I think the only way Ghost is going to win is just bring the fight. He's going to have to brawl. If he tries to box Keith Thurman is going to definitely use his height and reach advantage and just keep the distance. But I think Robert, if he comes in as like the Yoshihiro fight and exposes himself, it's going to be a short night. It's going to be a short night for Ghost. I hate to say it about Ghost, but I think Keith Thurman might. He's definitely going to come out victorious on this fight. But I think it's going to be a short night to the Ghost if he tries to brawl with Keith Thurman, which I definitely don't recommend. But anyways, guys, this is Ken That's Being Boxing from request. I definitely apologize about this video and stuff like that. There's not much to say about this fight, this video, but go ahead and friend request, subscribe. Have a good one.